Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited. Why? Because I get an opportunity now to have not just English interview, but a bilingual interview. That's right. I speak some Spanish. In New York, we speak Spanglish. And today we get a chance to revive something I've done a long time ago. MA Power Talk. But this one is completely more heartwarming for me. Reason being because, for whatever it's worth, guys, there aren't too many what I would consider successful martial arts leaders that happen to also be Latino. See, easy for me to say. But this gentleman absolutely is that person. He has gone from over in Puerto Rico to here in the United States. He's presently in Kennesaw, Georgia, of all places, but also everywhere in the world. This guy yesterday was doing an online training via Zoom, and it was awesome because I noticed a few things. That first of all, it was early in the morning and people were actually participating. And of course, he was doing this in Spanish, but this guy speaks English pretty well. His English is probably better than my Spanish, but somewhere along the line, maybe we'll put those captions in the bottom. But bottom line, this is Master Fernando Camareno. My man, ¿cómo estamos?
Saludos, saludos. Greetings to everybody from Kennesaw, Georgia. Saludos a todos. Bien feliz, bien contento, siempre con ese entusiasmo de Fast Fit Jerry Fontanez, the legendary.
Oh man! So translation, what he said was, man, that guy was crazy all the time talking about me. Anyway, so I'm really excited, guys, because we were just having a conversation, and it's based on how the body actually functions. Now, just to give you a little background, Fernando Camareno and his daughter both used to wear Rexes back in the days and compete at martial arts tournaments. And my student, Fast Guy Louis True, took me out there to Puerto Rico a number of times, and we did seminars in Canta de Humacao, which was kind of freaking cool. Legendary stuff. We have people there from all over the island. And it was so awesome. This is going back over 10 years, to be honest with you. Back in the late 2000s. But Camareno also, not only as a competitor, he was blitzing and kicking and doing everything. But his body actually was not, he was in pain. He was in pain. Maybe someone would say he was in pain because maybe he was breaking all those bricks. I'd be in pain too if I break those bricks. I don't know if that was the case. But one thing that was very interesting to me was that your relationship with your daughter was awesome. I never had a chance to have it in that capacity in terms of competition with my kids. But another thing was that I realized that you was also a businessman, which meant that you not just worked on the right side of your brain, the left side of your brain too. And that's something that normally doesn't happen with most martial or any art. So I would like to start, and again, guys, you're going to speak predominantly. We're going to do this as much as possible in English. And then what I want to do in the future, if you give me the opportunity, so I can work on my Spanish, hablamos en español la próxima vez. Si eso es okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So first and foremost, you have been involved in the martial arts industry in a variety of capacity, but what was your initial startup? Let's start from the beginning, because this is one of what will be, and guys, again, if I went to war and I had 300 people on my army, on my team, this is one of the gentlemen that I would want to have on my side. That's the reason why I invited you. This is not just to have a conversation. And when I watched you yesterday, I'm like, wait a second, I want to interview him. I got questions for him, but let me do it in a professional format as much as possible, because I think that people benefit from that. What was the inspiration?
I started in martial art when I was 6. I didn't have no choice. My father was one of the pioneers in the martial arts in Puerto Rico with the martial art of Shotokan. So I started in my home with my father and went through over 3 years and a half in the old curriculum of Shotokan, and I became a junior black belt at 9 years old. But at that time, I was looking for being in a school with other kids. Well, that time, there's not many kids at that time, but he bring me to the French school, Grandmaster Gilberto Rodriguez from Gariú Ricodó. And if you remember, on the 70s, Gariú Ricodó was the top school of karate and tournament in that time in Puerto Rico. So I started at 9 with him, and I was the only, well, not the only, the first kid that went through the process of the curriculum of Gariu Ricodo, and I get my junior black belt at 11. And then, I don't know the reason, Grandmaster Rodriguez closed the school. So I was like a 1 year practicing by myself, 1 year and a half. It's very funny because at that time I was thinking that I was Superman, and one day I was looking for trouble in the street with some guys, and he came a small guy. I saw him. He said, "Oh, I can get him," but he said, "You're gonna get this one." And he came a big guy, and he killed me. So I said,
what age were you? What age were you?
I was like 14.
So age 14. Okay, let me just stop you for a second, only because when it comes down to it, you said a few things that are very significant in the history of what would be martial arts in Puerto Rico. Because you got not just one junior black belt, but a second junior black belt. Guys, listen to what he said. The emphasis here is on the word junior, because in martial arts, many styles did not allow you to get your black belt until you was either 14, 16, or 18, depending on what lineage you came from. But a junior black belt obviously went through, as he said, the entire curriculum, and because of that, he was able to earn. And back then, it was a cocotazo, as they would say. In other words, it was hard. So before you got to the rude awakening in the street, let's go back and think about when you was getting ready to even get your black belt, being the only junior one of the first one during that time. How excited or nervous were you the first time and the second time? Because that breakthrough is a lot of lessons there.
Yes, no, it was a tough time. It was la dojo calabozo. But it makes what I am now. But in that occasion, when I saw that big guy, I made a mistake, only a big mistake. I turned back. So when I turned back, he threw me, boom, and he hit me in my face. So for instance, I was getting punches all the way down, but then I react and I start fighting, and somebody take me out from here. So my eyes was like this, and I look at the mirror and say, uh-oh. This is gonna be the last time of my life that somebody's gonna punch me in my face in the street. And until now has been like that. So I was looking for a new school, and I saw a school was named Black Dragon Taekwondo. And at that time, John Brothers Taekwondo was the only team in Puerto Rico that was giving us a lot of hot time in the tournament. So I say, I like those guys, how they kick. So I would like to learn about that. So I joined and started white belt again in Taekwondo. And at 16, I became a first degree in Taekwondo, in the World Taekwondo Federation, but the Jido-Kwan system, Then at 17, I opened my first school, professional school.